Right, well, let's look at the fixture list coming up for Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's start with Kilbride versus Dalbeattie Start, and we'll come to you, Mozza.
I think a draw in this one. Start tend to struggle a wee bit in these midweek travel games. Cali Braves, we don't know if they're actually going to be allowed punters in, so it might be a kind of behind closed doors game again for them. I see it being pretty tight. Maybe Star might fancy their chances, but I'll go for a low scoring draw.
Historically, these are always entertaining games between Cali Braves and Dalbeattie Star. I think the last season one was like 5-5. So I'll go with a draw, but a high scoring draw.
Scoring draw, nice. I think I'll go with draw as well. Looking next to Civil Service Strollers versus Edinburgh Uni, and I'm going to go with an Edinburgh Uni win here. I'm going to go. We got some maybe surprise perhaps, but I think Edinburgh looked like done enough against Broomhill on Saturday. I think they can get a result here.
I'm going to go a draw because I still think Strollers are kind of maybe better than previously was said in here. I think they want a bounce back. They're playing at home. Uni will probably be happy enough to get another point on the board as well, but again, kind of low scoring draw, something like
that. I'm tempted to go with a draw, but as much as what I said about Strollers earlier, I do think they'll win this match, especially being at Christy Gillis Park. I believe there's been sort of improvements been made there as well at the ground. So, I'll go with Strollers for the win over Edinburgh Uni.
Next up is the Spartans versus Rangers B. I think we'll probably guess that it'll be a Rangers B result here, I think.
I'm going to surprise you and say Spartans to win it.
Okay.
I really fancy Spartans to do well this year. We've not had a chance to talk about them because they had a week off, basically, but I think the additions they've made, their squad is miles better than it was last time round. They've still got arguably the best manager in the league, Dane Dougie, so I don't know. I just fancy them to get a result there, be it a draw or a win. I'm going to say a win for Spartans.
I'll go draw for the. I think there's something we've not really touched on, but obviously track and trace has been an issue. So I've not really seen a full Spartans team, but I do believe they've been playing Ewan Smith at the back with Bolo, which for me, I always preferred Ewan Smith in midfield because obviously he's a tall guy, he can win headers and whatnot. At the back, they have Dan Bauer playing left back so far, Bolo and Ewan Smith, and it just lacks mobility. All guys sort of lack a wee bit of mobility, and I think they will get punished despite how good they are in other areas of the pitch, but they will struggle against teams with pace. The young teams obviously going into this one, Rangers B. So it really depends if they move Ewan Smith to midfield, if Kevin Watt either comes in and plays left back, but I'm just not fond of Dan Bauer at left back. He's a big guy, likes to get forward, but to me he's not left back. And Ewan Smith, he's a midfielder, he's not a centre back, but it's up to obviously Dougie, who matters to say to tell Dougie Samuel
what question Dougie Samuel.
Yeah, exactly. But I do think they will struggle against teams with pace if they do play Dan Bauer left back and Ewan Smith with Bolo at the back as well.
I don't see him being left back. I see him being a centre back, so I'd imagine that will probably change.
All right, it's Premier Sports Cup action for East Kilbride as they face Clyde in the Premier Sports Cup at K Park.
It's one I'll keep an eye on because we've got to play Clyde in the Cup as well. I fancy Kilby to give them a game, but I still think Clyde will have the better. Like, they've got Ali Love, they've got David Goodwillie, and two of them questionable personalities, shall we say, but goal scorers. So I fancy Vinnie Jones is meant to win that one.
Vinnie Jones himself.
The
mean machine.
I actually fancy East Kilbride to win that, or at least get something. Clyde, I do think they've made some interesting signings, but they've been more kind of focused, certainly on up front, more focused on the younger players like Owen Andrews, who hopefully does well there. Kieran McGrath, who was obviously at EK.
Yeah.
I actually fancy EK to get a result there, especially at K Park. So,
I'm going to go with a draw there on this one. Personally, I think.
Who wins penalties if it's a draw?
Okay, I'm going to go with East Kilbride to win penalties. That's the result. There we go. Next game on the Wednesday night is Bonnyrigg United versus Gallifreydine Rovers at Newton Park.
Home one, reasonably comfortable.
Suits me.
I'll go with Bonus United, but Gala, because they'll be missing 2 players, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know quite. Obviously, Ricky Miller, 2 defensive players. I think the first signing off might have been Lewis Grant. I'm not 100% sure on that, but they're big misses for Gala. So I'll go with Bonus United to get back to winning ways.
Moving ahead, it's Broomhill versus University of Stirling at the Edinburgh Stadium. Sorry, Mozza, I'm going to go Uni here.
I'm going to let Chris go and then I'll say what my fees.
I'm going to sit on the fence and go with a draw. I do think it's really tough to predict. I think we could have another 2-2 or something going on for Broomhill here.
I arguably think this is the worst possible setting game we could have had, purely based on fitness levels. Like we'll still be struggling the last 20-10 minutes of the game, chances are, because one training session isn't going to be enough to get the boys up after a game. Uni are going to be bang on it fitness wise. We need to get ahead early if we want to end for this game, I think. But I'm going to go for a draw.
It's a Uni versus Stirling win for me. And next 2 more games on the card. It's Cumbernauld Colts versus Bonnyrigg Rose. What's your thoughts there, gents?
Draw for me. I think Colts are better than people realise. I think Rose actually have had issues playing against Colts. Like, there's a bit of a mishmash that if you play them earlier in the season, it seems to be harder to play them. And we've got this kind of stereotype about Colts, so later on they fade away. Yeah. I think it tends to be the case, doesn't it? So I'll say a draw. I think the Colts are a better outfit this time round.
From what Bonnyrigg said on Twitter, I think they did sort of struggle in the heat, and if it's going to be hot and a massive pitch, at Broadwood. But then again, Broadwood's usually bloody freezing, so it might not have any effect. Certainly, I know as a spectator, it's usually cold, but big pitch,
sticky AstroTurf.
Yeah, I'm not 100%. I kind of laughed a wee bit there because they're all sort of. We're back to these trying to predict these games way too early, but I fancy Bonnyrigg to probably be more favoured, but I'll say a draw.
And I'm going to go Cumbernauld Colts just because.
There we go.
Final game is Easterbank versus Vale League, and I think we can all be unanimous and say this will be a comfortable Shire win. That's
what I did expect, I think.
I was gonna say Vale League just for a bit of a laugh there, but I really feel sorry for Vale League. I think they're going to be in for another sort of harsh season. But East Stirlingshire obviously done really well against Gala. They are missing 2 more players again. So yeah, you've got to give them if anything, it's a really good start for East Stirlingshire if they win their first 2 in the bound. So regardless of opposition. But yeah, East Stirlingshire for me.
Well, that's the card coming up Tuesday, Wednesday.